Okay, welcome everyone to PIFA's National Ag Day Teacher PD. Before we begin, we'll be recording the session, as I've just said, but feel free to ask any questions throughout, either in message or raise your hand or interrupt me, that's fine. I'm Sharon Robinson and I'm an Education Officer with PIFA, and prior to my role with PIFA, I was a classroom teacher. I'd like to start with an acknowledgement of country. PIFA acknowledges traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognises the continuing connection to lands, waters and communities. We pay our respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures and to elders past and present. I'll start us off today with a brief overview of PIFA. We're a not-for-profit organisation that engages Australian schools and the community through education about food and fibre production and careers. We have numerous programs where we're making a difference in Australian schools. Prime Zone Academy, I'll go through both of those in a little while for you. Virtual Classroom Farmer Time and Career Harvest. Now for National Ag Day, which is Friday the 15th of November. You can celebrate by using any of our resources, or you might like to play the National Ag Day Kahoot that PIFA's put together, which if we have time, we'll be playing that at the end of this PD. And if you have a look at the QR code on the screen, if you'd like to scan that, that'll take you straight to agday.org.au and you can have a look at what they have to offer on their website. And I've just got a screenshot there of their Happy Ag Day. I'll give you a second to do that, and I'll be asking you to scan QR codes throughout, and then you've got access to websites on your phone as I'm going through things. So on the Ag Day website, there's many ways to get involved. You could host a lunch, enter the photo competition, participate in farmer time activities, and you can order and wear your Ag Day t-shirt, promote your own Ag Day and download their stakeholder kit, or attend an event in your area. So hopefully you've had enough time to scan that QR code so you can come back to their website. Moving on to PIFA now. So where you can find all of our latest resources for use in your classroom is Prime Zone. So once again, scan that QR code and save it into the favourites on your phone so that you've got easy access to our website. And what I'll do, if the computer's going to work for me, I'll take you to the website and talk you through some of the features. So hopefully that's on your screen now. So you can see there that there's Prime Zone on the left-hand side. And if you go into the search button, it's probably the easiest way to access the resources. We'll go to secondary. We'll pretend we are looking for something, for year 10. And then we can see the resources that have come up. So our latest one there, Thoroughbred Fact Sheets, that's just come out. Aquaculture, some games, Who Ag You, some careers. And there's a wealth of resources there that you'll be able to scroll through and find what will best fit for you as it's still loading. And you can put subjects in as well. So I'll let you play around with that a little bit more in your own time. Come back to my PowerPoint. So that's Prime Zone, where you find all of our resources. The next thing I want to show you is Prime Zone Academy. So Prime Zone Academy is our virtual learning platform where you can find our e-learning courses. So they can be used as standalone lessons, and these can be great to leave if you're ever away for a lesson or out on an excursion. The students will need to sign up for a free account, but that's a simple process. And I'll show you an example of Prime Zone Academy. So hopefully it's taken you to my screen now, where you can see all the courses that we have. I'll just scroll down. So apples, I'll be going through the hard copy resource of that with you today. Understanding the water cycle. What have we got there? Sugar industry, sugarcane production, aquaculture, sustainability in Australian ag, drones in agriculture, so many there. I'm already logged in, so hopefully if I click on one, let's have a look at apples all year round. The students can create their own account and then they'll just click on enroll for free. And it's taking me straight to the course. And you can see at the start, there's a teacher guide, so linking to the Australian curriculum. And then the learning areas for New South Wales that are there, course objectives, and the modules. So what students will do, they'll work their way through each of those sections. It'll give them instructions. And then they'll start the first module. And there'll be a range of questions, whether it's comprehension or they're watching a video and then they're answering multiple choice questions. So this one, looking at a graph, reading an article, and then moving on to answer some multiple choice questions based on that graph and then the article. So just one example. So spend some time going through that. I'll get back to PowerPoint and have a look at what might work for you in your context, and certainly have that saved so you've got some backup lessons whenever needed. Just got a couple of examples there, a screenshot, in case I wasn't able to access that with the internet. So once again, that's Prime Zone Academy, where you'll find the e-learning courses. All right, one of the next resources that I wanted to show you, titled Apples All Year Round. There's 2 lessons in this unit developed by Python and Hort Innovation, and explores the Australian apple industry and the technologies and innovations that are enhancing a sustainable apple production. So I'll click on that, and hopefully that's come up for you. If it hasn't come up, please feel free to let me know, because I'm on a different screen. So having a look at that, you'll see that there's 2 lessons, and I'll show you what those lessons look like in a moment: a card game and a supply chain poster. So one of the lessons there, unlocking orchard opportunities for year 9 to 10. Hopefully it'll download for me. Great. So all the lessons are in PDF format. So there'll be teacher guides and worksheets as well. And once I get to the worksheets, I'll show you they're writable online as well, so the students can use their devices. So you'll see that we're linking it to a learning area, Australian curriculum content. So no matter what state you're in, you'll still be able to use each of these resources, lesson objectives, and then the overview for the lesson. So this one, Intro to Aussie Apples, Circle of Concern, Innovative Industry, Advancements in Apple Production. And then you'll look at the next section, which will show the resources and equipment, and you'll be able to click on the worksheets as well. It should take you straight to that page of the worksheet and each of the videos or websites that are included there. So the lesson guide is for the teachers. So this gives you a thorough intro to what you need to do with the students. It breaks it down step by step. You'll also have comprehensive answers as well that you can access. So if I scroll down to an example of the worksheet, so you can see there, first worksheet, students can click on links, or if they have access to phones in class, I know some of them don't, but if they do, they can scan the QR code, and then they should be able to type their answers on the worksheet and save the PDF as well. So you can either print them or they can work online with their devices. So a range of case studies on this one. So some amazing resources there, and that's just showing you one example. If I go back, I want to show you the card game. So if you have some time to get this printed beforehand, and whether you want to use cardboard, There's a box that the students can make to put their cards in, and then you can get each of these cards printed. Either you can cut them up or you can get students to cut them up so that they can have a hands-on activity, and all the instructions are included there at the start. I've printed my own copy here that I used at a teacher PD last month. So a great activity for them to play with, and you can see the arrow cards, and then you've got different areas. So you've got growing, picking, initial inspection, cleaning, grading, sorting, packing. So looking at the supply chain, so the students will need to work out what goes where within that supply chain. And then you've also got career cards, so you can include the career components within that as well. So that's an awesome resource. So definitely one that I hope you'll be able to use. And I shall go back to my PowerPoint. Hopefully that's on your screen now. Are there any questions so far before I continue? And if there's silence, I'll just move on. And also within that Apple's resource, there's a poster as well there that you could print off and have displayed in your classrooms. Another resource that I wanted to show you, Year 7 to 8 science students and 9 to 10 design and tech students looking at the mighty mushy. So in science, students will explore mushrooms in ecosystems and learn about their classification and the role they play in energy flow in ecosystems. And for D&T or Ag, students will learn about the production cycle of the mushroom from farm to family, the features of the supply chain, as well as the preservation, preparation and consumption. Now, I'll show you the example of this resource. Hopefully that one's on your screen. So once again, these are all on PrimeZone. I've just included the links within my PowerPoint to make it easy to show you where I'm at. So a range of resources there for 7 to 8. What are mushrooms? A focus on classifications, looking at food webs and energy flows, identifying mushrooms, using and designing dichotomous keys, investigating the growth of mushrooms. And you'll see there that there's a separate teacher guide and student worksheets for this one, so easily downloadable. Once again, the students can use their devices to type on these worksheets, or you can get them printed. And design and tech, sustainable food choice for preferred futures, technology, innovation and careers, supply and marketing chain, focus on healthy eating and preparation. So loads within that resource as well. And coming back to my PowerPoint, another one that I wanted to show you. Really exciting that you can request to be sent the Super Seed Kit. So have a look at that QR code that's on your screen. Grab your phone and I'll give everybody a minute or so to scan that. And once you have scanned that, you should be taken to a form that you can fill out. And then you'll be sent an amazing pack of our Super Seed Kit. You can see there it's been developed by the Australian Grain Technologies, Grains Research and Development Corporation, GRDC, and PIFA. So hopefully everybody will be able to see that and sign up to get that kit sent out to them. And along with that, let me know if you need more time for the QR code. Along with that, there's 2 lessons that have been developed as well. I've just got a screenshot of those just to make it a bit quicker for today. So we've got what does a grains scientist do and case studies, and grains research and plant breeding, and some awesome posters that will come with that as well. Let me know if anybody needs more time with that QR code. And another resource that we've got for you, Healthy Living Soils. It's been developed by PIFA, Soil Science Australia and Soils for Life, supported through funding from the Australian Government's National Landcare Program. So once again, use your phone, scan the link. The resources are targeted to your 7 to 10 science, geography and ag tech. Likewise with all the other resources, the teacher section will give you the lesson guide and the student section with the student worksheets. This one though, a little different, it's amazing. It has its own website embedded. Hopefully that's come up on your screen. And so you can either click on the teacher section and then you can see the various lessons that we've got there: water cycle and soil, productive soil biomes, carbon cycle and soil, life under the soil, testing the soil, soil case studies, First Nations, Australians and soil. So if I click on one, hopefully that will load. Yep, and you can see the teacher guide there, testing the soil. I'll scroll quickly through that for you. So same layout with step-by-step instructions and thorough answers as well for you, and then the student worksheets. There's your answers, and then the student worksheets should be at the bottom here. But the students can also click on their own section as well. Okay, I shall go back to my PowerPoint. And another one that we've got there, how are we doing for time? All right. Horde Innovation, developed for AgTech and Science, developed by PIFA and Horde Innovation. And there's a YouTube as well with this that'll talk you through this particular lesson. So I'll leave that on for a moment for you to scan the QR code. And I'll quickly go through the next resource so that then we have some time for questions if there are any, and then we can play the Kahoots that we've developed. I'm sure some of you have probably seen our MLA resource. Good Meat's been developed by PIFA in collaboration with Meat and Livestock Australia. I've got a screenshot of this one to save on time, but the QR code's there if you want to scan that. And a range of lessons that you can see there showing 9 to 10. And supplementary materials that you can download as well. And also an awesome card game to go with this one. And that's an example of me looking at the supply chain there, the first one without the career cards and then the second one adding in the career cards. It's massive, so you need a big space for your students, but really fun for some hands-on activities. All right, now before we start the Kahoot, are there any questions from anybody? If you've got any questions, feel free to put them into the chat or ask. Feel free to, you can turn on your mics and ask away if you've got any questions. Hopefully that's a good sign. All right, now, shall we play the primary or the secondary Kahoot? What are we feeling like today? You can let me know in the chat or call out which you'd prefer. And if not, I'll make a selection for us. So PIFA's put together, oh, we've got a couple of votes for secondary. All right. And before we get on to that, I've had a question, is there a qualificational certificate that comes at the end of the units of work? Yes, on Prime Zone Academy, the students will get a certificate for completing that work. So you could get that printed off for them at the end. So that's just Prime Zone Academy for those courses. All right, sounding like we are going to play the secondary Kahoot. So I've got the QR codes for the Kahoots there, which you can scan or you can access later to play with your students. We'll have a play of it this afternoon, so I'll put the Kahoot up on my screen and then you can open Kahoot, the website Kahoot, to get to what we need to get to. Hopefully it will work for me. I'll just have to make sure I'm logged in. All right. All right, if somebody could say that they've got my Kahoot with the game pin on their screen, if you could just say yes out loud for me, because I'm on a different screen, that'd be great. And I'll know that everybody's. And how about for our names? Let's put an agricultural in for your names. So there's a QR code that you can scan or go to kahoot.it, put in the game pin. Annabelle's there. Thank you, Annabelle. So you can either have your name or an agricultural career or a food and fibre product, whatever works for you. Mitch and Kelly are there. Excellent. Beef to you. And Heather, excellent. And obviously, as you would say to the kids, nothing rude, otherwise I'll delete you. All right, we might make a start, and anybody that hasn't logged in yet, you should still be able to access the code at the bottom. All right. So we've put this Kahoot together based on all our industry stakeholders. So hopefully you should be able to answer the questions well. And for the sake of time, I'm going to only give you maybe 10 seconds for the answer. Well done, Annabelle. Well done, everybody. If it helps, I can read the question as well. What are the main uses of seaweed in this growing industry? Oh, you rolled too fast. Where is pure Australian tea tree oil primarily produced, and what is it commonly used for? Oh, a split of answers there. Annabelle's on fire. Oh, beef to use jumped up. How much red meat do Australians consume annually? So 40 kilograms of beef and 10 kilograms of lamb per person annually. Which of the following is true about Australia's meat and livestock industry? Oh, too quick. Australia is the world's second largest exporter. How many people are employed in the Australian red meat industry? Oh, sorry, I skipped too fast there. Which of the following is a key advantage of crossbreeding pigs in Australian pork farming? Improves growth rates and fertility. Oh, it's getting close. How many litres of piglets can a sow typically have in a year? Oh, beef to use, taken the lead. All right. I think this will be our last question. So our winner, Annabelle, congratulations for winning. All right, I shall come back to PowerPoint. Well done. So as you can see, that's a big Kahoot, 52 questions in that one. So that could take you pretty much a whole lesson to get that one done, or you can amend it however you choose. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to use the resources that I've shown you today, and that you'll enjoy National Ag Day. You'll be able to share that with the students for Friday. Are there any questions before we wrap up today? Because we've reached our time. I'll stop recording.